Yo, I'm trying to figure out where I can go for this shot. Over right here. Nah. Anyways, yo, what up? It's that guy. Hot breath. This video is just something I've been wanting to do for a while. Henrik Harlout. He's a professional skier with some massive dreads, and I thought he would have been a good review. Not a popular guy, especially amongst the viewers of this channel, but I think you'll enjoy this video. So definitely stay tuned, stay subscribed. These are the dread reviews of the knotlocks content. Yo, I think I want to show you this thing. It's called a multi-scarf, and I picked it up at like a wilderness goods store, and you can wear it in many different ways: headband, pull back, ponytail. Let me show you. You can wear it so many ways. Mr. Henrik Harlout. This is more of a request upon my own self. I wanted to get a video out on this dude because I did notice his dreads right away when I was into the skiing some years back, and this guy just throws down heavy with the ski game himself. So he was born August 14th, 1991 from Sweden, and with his hair in the current photo, as you can see, it is basically just a white boy hair. Yet it has managed to tangle and knot up in ways unimaginable, in ways that most people are left feeling impatient and impossible to achieve. And with his hair growing out, it does start to look like this. Now, I mean, this photo, probably not his real crinkles. Maybe they are. I have no idea what he would have done in this photo to make his hair like this. But it is the perfect texture and type to start dreading from, hence it being so frizzy and so crinkly already. Seeing how his hair has managed to go from the crinkles to freeform locks of this sort, it seems that they have managed to really mature through thinner locks. They would look like they would have been really thin at this point if he kept them kind of separated, kind of kept them very uncongoed. But as it turns out, his hair is massively locked. Not really congoed, just huge, big, marly locks. Not even really sure how he did it from hair from this state as of the current. I mean, this is how he was when he was starting out, just mad frizz. So of course, if you just stop putting a comb through here, it will start to look like this eventually. And of course, with the hair starting to tangle up, we're seeing like wispy ends. We're seeing some maturing happening amongst some tips, but mainly in the top bits. But his roots are not locking up. I do notice that locks start to mature more in the middle first, opposed to the tips and at the roots. But with his hair like this, definitely just free-spirited, letting them grow, do what they want. As a professional skier, he will be facing troubles such as mildew and mold quite often from sweat, from water, from snow getting in his locks. So that would be something to look out for. And more currently today, this is how his locks have matured. Just real big congoed, not even that congoed, but they're just real big natty locks, real thick, probably one of the thickest that I've seen in a very long time. Counting here, there's only 5, and that's a good half of his dreads that are on his head, so it seems. If you notice in this shot, his locks look a little bit thinner. I just think over time they've managed to maybe combine. Maybe he has combined a few to make them so thick as they were in the last photo. Shots like this are always great for showing how your locks are at length, because when you flip them up, we really get to see how long they are with a contrasting background like the sky, opposed to just looking at your locks mashed in with other locks, and you can't really see the difference in the photo. Skiing all the time. Henrik wears his hair down, surprisingly, tied down with a toque and tied down with goggles. It's got to be crazy to see his hair flying around when he's skiing. Like, you would think it'd be whipping him in the face, distracting him. Luckily he's wearing goggles, so we know it's not whipping his eyes while he's skiing. But having long dreads does hinder your performance. So when you see pros rocking the dreads down and they're killing it, it takes another level to do that. Even though on Henrik's level it's more subconscious, he doesn't really have to try to ski with his hair down, but it does take a little bit more patience, I find. This photo here, we can see that the very few locks that he actually has, like I'm counting like maybe 8 or 9 in this photo. They're just so thick. Opposed to the very first pictures, his tips have been blunted massively at this point. I don't think that's a natural occurrence. It looks like he might have had some maintenance done and actually to make his locks so thick. Earlier in the game, Henrik's hair, wispy tails, as you can see. They're not so cylindrical either, not as plentiful. So it makes me think that there was some manipulation that occurred between here and the stage where his locks have been super thick and super long, elongated, with a heavy Japan air. You can see his locks again very blunted. You can see some of the frizzy hairs kind of free flowing off of his dreads, but they are rather neat. I wouldn't say that these are free formed, because they are really too cylindrical and too blunted to be freely formed like so. There's no congos happening. They've all been separated. Crazy. And of course, as a champion of many Aspen, Olympics, X Games, Henrik is well achieved in the skiing field. His locks also very legendary in the skiing game. So, I mean, kudos to him for being able to rock the locks so long and so wild and free during all his performances. I really do worry about the mildew situation though, because I remember even snowboarding with my long interlocks. When the snow hit them and it soaks them all up, it melts in there and soaks them up, and you're out in the cold with your hair all wet, it's quite easy to forget to go home and have to dry them before going to bed, especially after a long day of skiing or snowboarding. So it's like, if this dude's getting his hair very soaked in powder, snow, it's got to be tough to go home and make sure your hair is dry before you go to bed. If he's lazy, he might not even do that. Then there's going to be mold growing in there. Photo here of him doing a truck driver, crazy skiing trick. Again, you can see the dreads flowing against the blue background, just nice and contrasting. Keep that in mind when taking your dread selfies. Just wanted to talk about his roots. Actually, there's only a picture I could find of his roots. You can see it's very messy, very frizzy, not even really any parts happening, but the roots do look like they're twisting kind of naturally. I don't think that those are any twists that are going to be clipped and gelled like the salon would do. These are just kind of twisted, just kind of naturally, and you can see how his roots are loose, much loose hair happening. You got about 1 inch or so of new growth, so maybe he's not really doing much to his hair at the roots, but they've been manipulated at the back. And yeah, also did notice some tying of yarn or hemp that was happening in his locks as well. So Henrik Harlout, go check out his videos. His skiing will definitely impress you. Locks for days. And lastly here, you can see the frizzy hair happening again on the sides, but do notice the change in color on his locks. Do notice the new growth on the top of his head, and the thickness of his locks. I mean, it all in all, they've played out quite well from where he started out from. And who's to say that white guys can't have dreads? Come on, people. Dreads are for anybody with hair. For real, though. For real. I'm going to sign off. This is Knotlocks. Come over to my vlog channel. New content every day. I'll see you guys over there. Peace out. One love. Not Nation salute. Blah. But, it's an airplane. It's an airplane. So anyways, dogs, kids. Anyways, Henry Harlout dreads. He wears some scarves sometimes. I'm going inside.